I got Knox Kronenberg here today,
Yes, sir.
and it's funny. You grew up in Austin, right?
Born and raised. That skyline didn't look the same when I was born, that's for sure.
Yeah. So what did that look like?
You could see that Frost Tower, and then if we were sitting here a decade ago, really 15 years ago, you could see the Capitol from here, but it's covered
Is that
up.
right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's straight that way, right to the left of that Frost Tower, but you can't see anything now.
And so how many years ago was that? I don't know how old you are.
I'm 27 years old.
So 27.
Yeah.
You know, that's interesting to be as accomplished as you are at 27.
I'm
art-wise.
incredibly blessed. Yeah.
Yeah. Because, I interview people all the time. You could be the youngest guy, close to the youngest
Really?
guy.
Oh, I'll
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah, Jordan Walker, he was right in there. But
Okay.
yeah, and maybe Josh Gibson. But, usually when you take on this profession, you don't hit it till you're literally in your 40s often.
Yeah. I think that's kind of what I see a lot is you're not the first person to say I'm the youngest of some kind of capacity.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I think my ignorance has been bliss in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we've just been running at it hard. And as I meet more people, I realize, oh, wow, I am younger than most of these guys.
Yeah, I mean, you can do it. T.C. Cannon, he died at 31. Basquiat was about the same age,
Right.
and they're obviously, they're literally the pantheons of Native art, African American art, or just
100%.
art, right?
100%.
So, and I'm sure it has to do, one of the reasons you're sitting in this chair is your drive,
We like to run hard, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what gets you here.
Our family motto is MSH, just stands for make shit happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about that. So your dad and mom, what did they do?
Yeah, so my dad is, he's a business guy through and through, but it's really funny because, so between my dad, my mom, my brother, and I, my mom's a children's book author, my little brother's a musician in LA, and then
Wow.
I'm a fine art photographer, and we were joking with my dad, and we're like, hey, where's your creativity? He's like, what are you talking about? Like, everything I've built has been creative.
He's right.
So he's an investor, and what he would say is he plants seeds and hope they grow. And
Yeah.
he started with nothing and has built a really significant business for himself. And
Yeah.
it's been amazing to watch because I've gotten to watch from when we didn't have much to now when we've got plenty, and getting to watch him and his hard work and the core values that he's kept throughout. And it's been amazing. And then I've got the greatest mom.
Yeah, and
Period.
she does child's books.
Yeah, so it's children's book. It's there's four actually. The fourth one just launched last week. It's Dream Big, Love Big, Think Big, and Live Big. And
Nice. And does she write them and illustrate?
so she writes them. She doesn't illustrate. They're all narrated through the eyes of African animals.
Oh, nice.
And so the African animals, Africa for her and I, has just kind of like got a little piece of our heart over
Oh,
there.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
East Africa specifically. Like I always tell people, it's the only place other than Texas I step off the plane and feel like I belong.
Why is that, you think?
I think a lot of it has to do with my dad had me start reading about Africa at a really, really early age.
Yeah.
So I've always had this like really nostalgic feel. And I didn't get to go until like 3 years ago to really East Africa. And I've spent quite a bit of time there now. And
And you felt at home as soon
it
as
just
you...
feels so,
Yeah.
yeah. And what's crazy is the country is so similar to Texas.
Yeah.
Just giant ass animals. You're like,
right.
oh wow, this looks like the Texas Hill Country or South Texas, but that's an elephant and that's a lion.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen at home.
Yeah, that's interesting, because
Yeah.
I could see that in the hill country.
Yeah.
Having grown up not far from all this area.
Well, and, I mean, Arizona, there's country that looks the exact same too. It's like,
Yeah, that whole New Mexico area.
but just giant animals. They have true megafauna over there.
And you're shooting, I assume, photography there too?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, we have a wildlife series, and I can go into that in a little bit, but the title of it's Symphony of Survival, and the whole idea is in life we all have to be willing to work together and put BS aside, and animals are kind of my way of saying that narrative.
Nice, yeah, because they're a big part of a lot of your photography.
Totally. Yeah. I'm a like true outdoorsman through and through, and
Yeah.
I always tell
You
people...
got your dog with you.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I always tell people it's like my way of connecting with, a higher power, God, for me is like being outside, and that's my
absolutely.
church. Yeah.
Well, there you go. This is a perfect setting, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And I actually like doing podcasts outside. The last two I've done with Star York and Billy Shank were both outside. I'm like,
oh, really?
Why don't I do that more often?
You're like, it's nice outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you can focus in, I mean, I can see somebody kayaking in the river.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, we're gonna see people fishing by right here in a second.
Yeah, you were telling me right where we are, there's a bridge, because you walk in, you go, guano bats.
Yeah.
You know, and because there's a bridge right there.
Yeah, the bridge literally right behind us. I think it has like 2 or 3 million bats or some crazy number.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
I know.
But every night in the summertime and the spring, there'll be 4,000 people on that bridge just sitting, waiting, and watching.
I get it, man. That's God's gift to like
Amen.
This is. And I haven't been bit by a mosquito either.
Exactly, because they whack them. And that's what's great, because you have all this water here. You'd think the bugs would be
they eat them
terrible.
all.
Well, and there's a really crazy deal. It's the largest, because bats are mammals.
Yes, that's
so the largest congregation of mammals in the world is actually in San Antonio. It's about an hour south of here. It's called Bracken Cave. There's 20 million bats that live in this cave.
Wow.
And I've had the opportunity to photograph it a couple times. It literally looks like a tornado of bats come out of this thing. And what they figured out is these bats go to the thermals somewhere at like 15 to 30,000 feet, and they fly almost to Nicaragua every night and eat these moths that are migrating all the way to like the Midwest, and then they come back, and they only figured it out through Doppler radar. Radar, yeah.
And so, have you done one of your photos with the bats like that?
I haven't. We've tried really, really hard. They don't want me. I photographed just the bats, but I want to have like a character or two in front of the bats.
Oh yeah.
And I've failed to get permission. One of the things you'll learn as we keep talking is I fail a lot.
Yes.
But I'm not good at taking no for an answer. Sometimes it just gets put on the back burner.
Well, I think that's how you succeed in life.
Maybe so.
No, it's true. And as an artist, and I think this is a good advice for all artists, is don't be afraid to say yes.
Yeah.
And try stuff.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you didn't know me from Jack.
Yeah.
Right? And I call you, or Charles calls you and says, hey, this is who we are. And you're like, yeah, okay, cool, I'll do it. You don't have a clue.
No, I just one of the things I'm addicted to, and this kind of like finagles its way into our entire business, is I love meeting people. Yeah. What I call living life uniquely and peeling the proverbial onion of life differently, right?
Right.
I know so many people that are just copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. It's just that monotony drives me crazy. Yeah. And so anytime I get the time to have a conversation with somebody, like you're an Army doctor, you're a doctor, you're a flight fisherman, you own a gallery, you've written 13 books. It's like, oh, I can talk to you for 10 hours.
Yeah, there's a few things there.
Yeah.
But the key is it's on you, not me today, which is the game. So when you're growing up with your family,
yes, sir.
And it's your younger brother who's the musician?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And so is he a singer or?
So he's a singer, songwriter, producer, plays a bunch of different instruments. He's just kind of like a multi-talented guy. I guess I would most consider his like genre more like surf rock, indie rock.
Okay.
He's a big surfer. So he and I are wildly different people, but we both share a love for surfing. So that's kind of our common language.
Even though you grew up in Austin.
Exactly, yeah. Growing up in Austin, you'd think like, how the heck do you all know how to surf? But surfing behind the boats and getting
like
used
skiing and stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then our coast, it's not a good surf coast. Right. But we get like 2 or 3 good swells a year.
And you'll go out and surf it?
And we've got kind of like a small militia of surf guys here that every time it hits, somebody's going and the truck's full. And
that's funny.
Yeah, whether it's 28 degrees out or 110 degrees out, you go when the waves come.
Yeah. Well, you're young, you have a lot of energy. You have to. Apparently, for what you're doing, you have to have a lot of energy.
I think the biggest thing for us is you have to have a lot of energy, but you have to have that commitment to see it through. Because if I didn't love it as much as I did, there's zero reason to do what I do because it's freaking hard. Like I don't have enough money to afford most of what we do. I don't have a team. We have a little bit of a team now, but it's like I'm the one making most of this happen.
Right.
To get to the point to create the photo, then we have the team effort of like the characters. Because what I always tell people is it's not I. It is a we effort.
I bet.
But the no's come to me. Yeah. And the yeses come to me, but majority of the time it's no.
And what we'll do is in our YouTube, for people who are watching this on YouTube, I encourage you to do that. Yeah. Is that we'll put some of the photos that you've done.
Oh, please. Yeah.
Yeah, because you'll get to see the complexity of these shots and what's involved in these shots, which is it's everything.
It's a nightmare. Yeah, like we've had photos that have taken me, from the time I had the idea to the time of execution, 2 years. Yeah. And like actively working to get the permissions necessary. Yeah. And the effort necessary to make it happen.
It's interesting when you think about what you're doing. It's really performance art as well.
It is interesting. I've never thought about it that way, but it totally is. Yeah.
You think of some of these individuals that take years to get something to come. Like the Gates in New York City, and these things that take and you have to get all the permissions.
Yeah.
Which is the same thing what you have to do on a lot of these things, like one where you had to shut down a bridge.
Yeah.
We
shut down that. Well, actually, we didn't shut down that bridge. We asked for forgiveness on that bridge.
Yeah.
Right here behind us.
You just did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But sometimes I think you have to do that, right?
100%.
To get it done.
Yeah.
But, and I don't know if you do this, but I think it'd be very interesting is to actually like make a mini movie about
Everything has it. Yeah.
Do you do that?
So the biggest thing we tell people in art, whether you're buying our art or not, everybody thinks it's AI or Photoshop because it's so easy to create what I do with Photoshop or AI.
Yeah.
So that video element becomes kind of like the
proof.
It's the proof, but it's also like the authenticity behind it. So we have a mini documentary for each piece that tells you.
I think it's critically important.
Yeah, it tells you who, what, when, where, why, and how we create everything.
Right, and how difficult it is, right?
And then so every collector, when they buy the piece, they get the video. So when somebody comes into their house and goes, oh, what in the heck is this? It then becomes my marketing, but it also stays as a way for them to be able to share the story easier.
Right.
Because the story for me, every piece has a lot of thought put into it. Like there's very few images that we just stumble across and capture. Almost everything is premeditated and created.
Yeah, that's performance art.
Exactly.
It really is.
And so what I want to be able to do is share that story with as many people as possible, especially the people spending their hard-earned dollars on my art.
Yes, yes. So when did you get into photography? When did that actually start?
Yeah, so I'll kind of give you the like minute-long synopsis and then poke and play as much as you want, So for me, it started, my mission statement in life is to inspire passion in others on a mass scale and to be the light in the dark. And I've had that since I was like 21 years old.
Okay.
And basically to me, my life has been a natural progression of passion because I've had amazing parents and amazing supporters that have pushed me to chase my dreams at every step of the way.
That's really important.
It's the most...
Especially as an artist.
I'm eternally grateful for their support and the people that have pushed me.
Right.
It started at a very early age with the outdoors, primarily bass fishing because you have
it's everywhere.
Water everywhere in Austin. I ended up starting a bass fishing team for my high school. We got second in state. That was good enough for me. I fell in love with fly fishing quickly after. When I fall in love with things, I have this tendency to wildly commit. I always tell people
you're all in.
I'm a total addict. It's just manifested in really productive things.
Yeah.
Or maybe not productive to some, but productive to me.
Yeah.
And so it was fly fishing.
It fascinates you.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then you want to try to be the best.
100%. I have a huge problem with that. Like, I'm like, if I'm going to do it, I want to be the best.
It allows you to also be the best.
Yeah. Hopefully one day. Yeah. And so with fly fishing, I ended up competing for the U.S. youth fly fishing team. Through that, was able to travel a lot around the world. Through that travel, fell in love with photography, wanted to show my buddies where I'd been and what was going on and like how we were doing things. And then when I got to college, I tried to take a bunch of photography classes in CU Boulder, and they wouldn't let me because I was a business major and it was like all this BS.
Right.
So anyways, I skipped a ton of school, started getting addicted to learning how to use a camera on YouTube, had all of these sponsors sending me free products just to take photos of them. And I was like, this is really interesting. Somewhere in my freshman year, I started a production company, traveled all over the world, all through college, fly fishing, hunting, and surfing for all of these brands, creating content for their marketing material, for their billboards, for their social media, for all of that. And then we did that for a few years out of school. And what I always tell people is experientially, it was wildly fulfilling and it was amazing. And I got to see a ton of the world that I never would have seen otherwise.
Right.
But creatively, it didn't fill that gap.
Yeah.
It just got monotonous.
Yeah,
and I've
because
had that.
It became marketing, right?
Exactly. Well, it was just I was creating other people's visions,
right?
And I'm kind of a selfish guy. I want to create what I see here.
Yeah, no, I get it. You're an artist.
Yeah, exactly. And so I reeled back a few years ago, and we were like, all right, if the mission statement is to inspire passion in others, the only way to do that is if I chase my passion as hard as I possibly can.
When did that come to you?
The mission statement?
Yeah, that moment that you go, there's something missing and there needs to be a mission statement.
The mission statement I had before, about 3.5, 4 years ago, it really got to the point where I was like, man, something's missing. There's a void creatively. What does that look like? Is there a business that I can create through photography? Because I always knew that I loved photography. From that first time I picked it up, it was like, like a snake bit me in the face.
Yeah.
Like it was like, you're dead. We're done. We're doing this.
Got it.
And so I was like, man, what could I do? I studied like crazy, studied a million different photographers,
Right.
fashion photographers, art photographers.
Did you
content
finish
creators.
college, or did you just say?
Technically I did,
Yeah.
but I don't know what my major is. I've never seen my diploma. Like they were just like, you have enough hours to get out of here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was during COVID, I think, when I graduated. So it was even more of like a little gray area kind of. But I mean, I missed my finals the last 4 semesters of college for different work trips.
Yeah, and you were doing all the marketing, marketing photography, and you're setting up the whole essence of what happen, right?
100%.
During the thing, right?
Yeah, it's just kind of been an awesome natural progression is what I tell people. And like talking about my amazing mother, I remember a phone call, I'll never forget this. Hey Mom, I've got finals next week, but I just got invited to a trip in Argentina to go fish for giant brown trout, and I'm gonna be the photographer. And she's like, well, you're not going to be a doctor or a lawyer. You better go.
Yeah. She's right.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. And to have her on my side, though, is the greatest thing.
But she knew you.
She did. And she does. And she's
right.
the greatest champion of my stuff.
What if she had said, you shouldn't do that? Would you still gone?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, she knew that.
Yeah.
She's like, it doesn't matter what I say.
Yeah.
This kid's going.
Yeah, he's going either way.
Right.
100%. And so it really has just been this amazing evolution. And now, after studying all of these different businesses, essentially what I figured out was there's a gap in this market to where there's very few people that do it. I know a ton of very wealthy people. Everybody has a big wall. There's very, very few big art pieces that tell a story and fill that wall space well. And so the simple business model that we follow is big walls need big art, and they have to be visually intoxicating, and they have to connect with your heart. And for us...
And your heart, too.
Well, that's the most important thing first, right?
Because you're not going to make one of these unless
it has to connect with me first. Like I think there's a difference. That's like the line with commercial versus art, right? Like commercial is it doesn't connect with you. Art is it connects with you, then therefore it can connect with others.
Because you're making a story each time.
100%.
Right? You're producing you're making a small movie and then documenting it in art where you see your vision. I'm sure, tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure you see a vision in your head how this is supposed to look before you ever...
I see them crystal clear in my head.
I would think.
Very rarely do they change from what I see in my head. The only thing that's variable is the light. Because we shoot 98% of the time natural light.
Yeah.
So the variable thing is the light, and that's just something we try and pray for.
Have you done any, well, I guess you've done some indoor shots,
we have,
right?
Yeah, and those
the bar scene, I remember that.
A couple of the bar scenes, every bar scene we've done has lighting behind it. And I love natural light, and I know how light works outside.
Yeah, well, you're a fly fisherman.
Exactly.
So that's so critical because you have to look at light and glare and all that stuff or you don't see the fish.
100%.
And you're an expert in that, actually.
Well, for sure in that, but like inside, I know nothing. And I always try and find the best person to help me so that I can speak to them my vision. Hey, I don't want to see their eyes. Hey, I want this guy's eyes to be able to be seen. Right. This is what I see. Okay, I want a shadow here and I want the longhorn to look like this. And then he sets up all the lights under my vision. Yeah. But if it was up to me, you'd be like, what in the world does this look like?
Yeah, you're a director.
Totally. Because I have to direct at that point because I'm a huge believer in do the things you're best at and hire the things you're not the best at.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So what have you hired that you're not the best at?
Oh, I'm a terrible accountant.
Yeah, okay.
I'm terrible with lighting indoors. Let's think, what else do we have hired out? I mean, other than just like simple roles on our team. Shipping, I hate. I'm a nightmare.
Yeah.
I'm the worst detail person you've ever met in your entire life. Yeah, because you're big picture. Yeah, I'm a massive big picture thinker. Unless it's a photo that we're doing and I'm the only one that knows everything, I have all the details in my head and I'm the only one that can.
You focus on those, yeah.
I'm like,
very typical.
My mom says it. She's got this great line. She's like, you have a broken shitter, meaning like if you don't give a shit about it, it's not going to get done, but if you give a shit about it, you're going to run through the wall to make it happen.
Yeah. Well, I get that. I can see that in you for sure. And so about 3 years ago is when you flipped and said, okay, I'm doing all this myself? Yeah,
so about 3.5 years ago, and you'll love this because we're literally sitting 50 yards, 100 yards from the very first photo we did.
Right.
So there's a gentleman in Austin, his name's Samuel Greyhorse. He's an Apache, but he's been in Austin for forever. And he rides his horse up and down this road right here, South Congress. He's a musician and he's like a true Austin character. Right?
Yeah, he's a bohemian.
Yeah, he's a total bohemian. And I met him on the side of the road one night. I went up to him and was like, hey, I think you're awesome. I'd really love to take a photo of you. Because he dresses like a cowboy, because he's just a total cowboy at the same time.
Right.
I was like, I'd love to get a photo of a cowboy in the skyline. What I came to learn is that he's Apache. He's a medicine man for his tribe. He leads sweat lodges. But what he did was he told me to F off white boy the first time I met him.
Yeah.
And I looked him dead in the eyes and I was like, you don't know it yet, but you and I are going to be friends. Just wait.
Yeah.
And so I spent 6 months
Getting to know him.
figuring out where he lived, who he was, getting to know him, finally get a sit down with him. He and I had like a sit down like this for 4 hours.
Right.
And just got to know each other. And then he goes, all right, look, if you really, like, clearly you're not effing with me. You want to take this photo and it means something to you.
Right. And why do you think he didn't want you to take that photo?
Man, we've done a bunch of stuff with Native people. Some are very excited to be photographed because they understand that I'm trying to celebrate. And what I always tell people is like, there's plenty of negative on both sides of the coin. My job is to celebrate that they were the freest people that ever lived, in my opinion, and that their connectivity to Mother Nature and Earth and all of this stuff is beautiful, and that's what I want to celebrate.
Right.
I don't want to celebrate the negativity and the Trail of Tears. Like, there's plenty of people focusing on the negative stuff. I want to bring the positive beauty of what I see in these people to life.
Yeah.
And so I think he just understood that, but I think that there's definitely a little bit of a give and take, at least with him, for, hey, you can photograph me when I'm dressed like a cowboy, but if I'm going to be vulnerable and put war paint on my horse and put war paint on myself and be this person that I'm not necessarily every day, but that means something really impactful to me, I want to make sure that you're not just doing it to make a quick buck and that you do it to appreciate me.
Yeah. Because that's an easy thing. I can see why he would be like, I don't know about this.
Totally. Yeah.
Right.
It's a super fair deal. And what's cool is he and I have become great buddies. And so the story kind of continues, and he told me to F off. We had this great conversation, and he's like, look, if you really want to do this photo with me, in order for me to really trust that your intentions are pure, you have to come to a sweat lodge with me, which I'm sure you know a little bit about sweat lodges. Yep. And the first time I did one with him, it was 110 outside of the teepee.
Yeah.
And then you crawl in the teepee, and it's just hellish hot.
Yeah.
And one of the most beautiful spiritual encounters and things I've ever had in my life. But the lesson I'll never forget is when I crawl in there, there's 25 people in the teepee or so, and they look at me and they go, hey, Knox, your mind is weak, but your heart is strong. Your mind will tell you you have to quit, but your heart can make it, I promise. Send all of your energy and prayers through your heart and not your mind, and just commit. And it was like this beautiful lesson for the rest of life. That I've kind of tried to carry into everything.
That's what the sweat lodge was for you, is to give you a lesson, a lifelong lesson.
It's a total lifelong lesson, and I've been blessed to do it quite a few times now. But one of the things I love about it is when you crawl into the teepee, that's Mother Nature's womb, and when you crawl back out, you're reborn into the world, right? You're kind of like brought back to life, if you will. And so we come out of this teepee after having this amazing couple-hour spiritual experience, and he shakes my hand and he looks at me and he goes, "You are my brother, and we are doing this photo tomorrow."
All right, yeah, because you committed to learning something about what his culture was, how he sees his life.
100%.
Yeah, and he knows you're not going to just take this and go. If you're just going to make money, you wouldn't do it. You'd just go on to something else, or you'd hire somebody.
It would be much easier if I just wanted to make money. I could take photo of something else. That'd be easier.
But you're committed.
Yeah, I was fully committed from that time, that first conversation.
Yeah, I've seen that photo. It's a very nice photo.
Thank you.
They're all good photos. I mean, the photo's what brought me in, not the story for you. I mean, for really.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, when I saw that roughneck.
Yeah.
So that's in my neck of the woods where I grew up.
Totally.
And I was like, okay, I can relate to this image.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so this guy spent some time with these people. You don't get photographs of oil workers and roughnecks and things like that unless you do the same thing you did with
100%.
Gray Horse, right?
Well, and so what I always tell people is the most important thing for me, well, maybe not the most, with the photos specifically, I have to have a relationship with who is in front of my camera.
Yeah.
Because it's a team effort, right? Like, everybody gets paid, everybody gets taken care of. I'm not here to take advantage of anybody.
Right.
But I don't want to just pay them and not know them, right? I want to know them and know who they are, and I want them to understand the vision.
That's a director. That's the same kind of thing, like doing a movie.
100%. And some of the best things that have ever happened, like some of our best photos, haven't been my ideas. They've been audibles off of my idea from the cowboy on set, from the native guy on set, from the guy drinking a beer in the background.
Right. What if you did this, or look at it like this?
And what I always tell people is like, hey, my creative vision brought us here, but I'm not in a box. Like I want everybody
Input.
I want everybody's input because some of
Right.
the best ideas come from the hip. And when I'm stuck here trying to narrate this whole scene,
Yeah.
I'm missing all the stuff behind us. Help me make sure I'm seeing everything. This is team, we, not I.
And what one of those off the hip ideas resonated that you can think of that you can say, yeah, this was
a perfect example?
Yeah.
We were in Aspen, Colorado, getting absolutely pounded by a blizzard. So my main idea had just been totally failed.
Right.
I had 3 snowcats rented, blah, 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 blah. We had this crazy shoot planned. And we're stuck in a barn where we're keeping the horses in a blizzard.
Right.
And I'm taking portraits of our cowboy model and our native model.
Right.
And our native model is a guy named Thomas White Eagle. He's become a great friend, awesome, awesome human being. And he looks at me and he's like, hey, you like juxtaposition, which is one of my favorite narratives,
Yeah.
right? Understanding the past to understand the future
Right.
is maybe the most important thing in our society, and something that I think is severely lacking is nobody has the perspective of where we've been. Everybody's
Yeah.
thinking only right now, right now, right now, right now.
Right.
And it hurts us as humans so deeply because life is so cyclical, and
Yeah.
you see the same mistake over and over and over again.
Mhm.
So that's kind of why that big narrative is there. And he goes, your cinematographer, the guy filming the BTS, has a pair of skis. What if I grabbed those skis and I sat with the skis, but in my full headdress? And so the title of it
yeah.
is The Powder Chief.
Oh yeah.
I would have never thought about it.
Yeah.
And so we did one with him and then one with the cowboy. And like people have absolutely loved identifying with those.
Oh, that's so. And do you think it's because they see the past and the future?
So
Yeah.
I think it probably varies for most people why they like
Yeah.
it. Some people might just be like, oh, it's a native guy in a ski. Cool.
Yeah.
My hope is, and the reason we created it is, hey, that country you're skiing on was theirs first.
Yeah.
Have this underlying theme of respect.
Right.
To me, respect is such a big characteristic that's also lacking, right?
Yes.
Respecting history, respecting others' opinions, respecting the people around you.
Right.
It's lacking on an abnormally massive scale.
Yeah, I agree.
And so kind of creating art that brings that
Yeah.
layer of respect for me is important. And that's why I create them. But what I don't want to do is say, hey, you have to connect to it because I connect to it this way. Like, it's up to you as the viewer
Yeah.
and the collector how you connect with it. But I'm going to tell you why I created it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's most artists do that.
Yeah.
You know, they have their own vision, what it is, and why it excited them to do it.
Right.
And then it is up to the viewer. They don't. I mean, you're an artist. You don't care. I wouldn't care. It's like you can interpret it how you want. But this is what I did. This is
Right.
what I see it. You know, go for it.
Yeah.
And I think this history going present and past, like T.C. Cannon, who was an amazing artist, he did that too, right? He might have, you know, very contemporary scenes, but in all regalia, and he's doing this, you know, in the 70s
Wow.
time frame. Yeah. So it's a theme that I think is important, and I'm trying to. I don't know of anybody who's doing that in this big format. Is there anyone that's doing like that? I mean, they do things, but
There's a lot of people doing big format stuff. I don't see much juxtaposed big
Yeah.
format stuff. And what I always tell people with photography specifically, if I could paint, I would paint. If I could draw, I would draw.
yeah,
Because my ideas are infinitely easier to paint and draw than they are to create in real life.
yeah,
Because getting all these characters, like we've closed down Formula One tracks a few times, and it's like, it's a nightmare,
I can only
a
imagine.
total nightmare.
Yeah,
But it'd be really easy if I was a damn good painter to paint a Longhorn in front of a Formula One car.
yeah, but it wouldn't have the same impact. either.
Exactly. Yeah. And you and I talked about that a little bit the other day. But for me, there's 8 billion photographers in the world. How do you
Yeah.
create a photo that gets above the noise and tells a story?
Right.
But beyond that, it has to be visually pretty enough to be on a wall.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, like, we create these so that they can go on walls because that's how I like seeing them the
Yeah.
best. It's not necessarily because I have to make money and it has to go like that.
Right.
But they look best at scale and they're made
Yeah,
for
and you're
that.
doing fine art. I mean, these are limited editions too.
Yes,
They're
sir.
only one of 11,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, very
And-
limited.
Yeah, that's very limited for the amount of time that goes into this.
Yeah, financially probably irresponsible sometimes.
Yeah, I want to talk about that too, because I think that's one of the most interesting things about what you're doing. You're 27 years old, but these things that you're producing are most often, not always, I'm sure, but extremely expensive to
Yeah,
do,
100%.
right? You know, that had to be scary the first time you go, okay, I got to spend 30 grand,
Yeah.
you know.
So the perfect the second photo we ever did was in Dallas, Texas. We closed a bridge down, and I had $11,000 in my bank account. I'll never forget. I called my mentor. I said, hey, this photo's going to cost me $10,500.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, what is it? And I told him. He goes, well, you'd be a fool not to.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, sir. And I hung up.
Yeah.
And there's a giant 10-minute story into that whole thing. I canceled it the night before, blah, 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 blah. I
Right.
had to bribe the fire department to help me close the bridge down, this whole kind of craziness, right?
Yes.
But I was like, screw it, we're doing it. We did it. We created the photo. And to be totally honest, like, it's sold a few times, but it hasn't sold a ton. Like,
Yeah.
I've maybe made my money back.
Yeah.
I probably made my money back, but it was more of that principle of like just having somebody say, do it.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's a
swing with
learning
that.
thing too for you.
And like, here's the
Yeah.
other beautiful thing. I'm so young.
Yes.
I can swing harder than most because like I'm newly married. So now I have one more person that I'm committed to taking
Right.
care of. But for a long time, it's just been me.
Yes.
It's like, I can live on nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I can go suffer and I can sleep in the dirt just fine
Yeah.
if it means I can keep pushing this train down the tracks.
Yes.
So I'm going to swing as hard as I can now. And my philosophy is like, take the biggest risks now. So before I have kids and other mouths to feed that truly depend on me,
Yes.
that there's hopefully that point of maybe not equilibrium, but that climb is going and going. And it's like
Yeah.
the impetus is hard to stop.
Yes. I call it critical mass.
Exactly.
And I had the same thing in my business. I was a little younger than you. I was about 30, but a little older than you. But it was, if I hit critical mass, I knew if I could buy and sell and get enough critical mass,
Yeah.
then it could sustain itself.
How
and
cool.
I could just,
Yeah.
you know, I would be, and it wasn't like, I don't know where that is, but I know it's at some point.
I don't know where it is either.
Right. And
Yeah.
it was actually decades before I go, oh yeah, I think I've actually hit critical mass.
Well, and that's
now.
what some of my mentors tell me. They're like, you're going to be swinging this hard for at least a decade.
Yeah, it's true.
Just know that. And it's been really helpful to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
And if you love it, you'll keep swinging until you can't
Oh, I'm going to swing
lift up
forever.
the back.
Like,
you know?
if you gave me $1 billion today, the only thing that would change is we'd create crazier
Bigger
shit.
ones, yeah.
Like if I had $1 billion, I
Yeah.
don't even know what we would do.
So have you watched things like Mr. Beast and the productions that he puts?
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's doing, I mean, he's not doing photography, but he's telling these stories and he's doing these
On the
massive
the scale is,
Right.
oh, I'm addicted to the scale.
Yeah.
The stories don't connect with me most of the time, but the scale that he's doing it at,
Yeah.
I have the most respect for that.
Yeah, because he's swinging for the
Look at
fence
he's
each
my
time. Right.
age.
Yeah.
He's 27, 28
Yeah.
years old. He's worth $1 billion.
Yeah. And he's swinging for the fences on each one of them.
Yeah, it's like he's swinging for the fence behind the fence behind the
Yeah.
fence. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable to watch.
But do you worry about, I mean, because I would never want to be that person because he's so famous, right?
Yeah.
Do you worry that that can happen to you?
I don't think I could ever be that famous.
But even if you get amount of that fame, as far as like on, you know, your thing, you have to deal with that.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever put any thought into it,
Yeah, you should.
to be honest with you. I think it would probably bother my wife more than it would bother me just because people would stop me more.
Yeah.
But we get stopped every once in a while. And
Yeah, no, I'm sure.
It's kind of nice being commended for your hard work.
Yeah.
I imagine there's the same kind of thing, a tipping point in that, where it's like,
Yeah.
wow, this feels really good, and holy shit, this is annoying.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or just, yeah, you lose some of your anonymity.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's hard, I think, for artists too, because they need that. Most don't want it because they're introverts and they
Yeah.
spend all their time in, you know, in their studio.
Yeah, I'm a super extrovert, so it's good for me.
Which helps you, yeah, because you are extroverted, I can
Yeah.
tell. But you need to be for what you're doing probably as well.
For what I do,
Yeah.
I envy the artists that can paint, sit in their studio and
Yeah.
work out an idea, because I would love to create every day. I
You
financially,
probably do actually.
well, in a
your,
way, right?
In your mind.
In
sure.
my mind, I'm
Right.
always creating ideas,
Right.
but it's really challenging to have an amazing idea that's like, oh my God, I can feel it in all of my bones,
Yeah.
and not being able to do it for like 6 months.
And is that because time constraints or money or both?
Money, time, and like getting everything together. Like there's a photo I want to do. I guess if I say it on here, whatever. My ideas keep getting like super out there and then nabbed up. It's almost seeming, but here's the idea. I want to juxtapose travel. I think I think time travel is legal and well documented. Most people don't understand. It's just called private planes.
Okay.
It's just very expensive.
Yeah.
You fly from here to Alaska on a G550, it'll take 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
That is time travel. And bringing it into the people that settled the West and these hard men and women that said, I'm going to go that way until I see something I like.
Yeah.
And I'm going to fight off everything that comes at me, wolves, tigers, bears, lions, Indians, whatever. And I'm just going to make it.
Yeah.
To now, when you can fly all the way across, and bringing that narrative of like, again, respect for what's come before us, gratitude for what we have now, and like the ability to understand that it's like we're capable of so much. In such a short period of time. We went from horses being the best form of transportation,
or no horses, depending on where you were,
to now we are flying on planes
Yeah.
any which way, and the whole globe is like
Yeah.
this
It
big.
used to take, the most you could do with a wagon, 20 miles in a day.
Exactly.
You know?
It blows my mind.
Yeah.
And so what we want to do is take a native guy and a cowboy and probably a couple other characters. And I got so close to doing this about 3 weeks ago, actually about a month and a half ago, in Jackson Hole, because Jackson Hole has the most beautiful backdrop of any airstrip,
Yeah, I bet.
at least in North America, maybe ever, because the Tetons are right there. It's in the national park. I had 2 different planes committed to flying in, and these aren't little planes. These are like G4s and bigger, like very expensive planes and collectors that are very interested in the idea. And flying in to commit to landing, Jackson Airport is different than most because it's in a national park. So we didn't get permission to do it because of the national park, and because it was in a busy time of year. They don't have enough parking area to get the plane to do it. So at some point we're going to create this photo. This is my 3rd year trying. We tried to do it in Aspen, we tried to do it in Telluride, and now we've tried to do it in Jackson, and have failed in all 3 places.
How about Tahoe?
I've never even been to Tahoe.
Yeah, it has that same kind of sensibility.
Really?
Yep.
So like, this is the perfect example.
And good fishing, by the way.
I've heard it's awesome. Well, we've gotten punched in the face a lot on this one. Like to the point of where I'm on the 1 yard line, all I need is a yes. 3 different times. I've had planes, I've had the characters, I've had perfect weather, but I have failed to get the permission from the airports.
What is it, I mean, if you can share or not share, but what does it cost to generally to set one of these major things up?
We have spent anywhere from like $800 as I paid Sam, but I've paid him a lot more since.
Yeah.
To $70,000 for a photo, and more.
Yeah.
You know, like there's repercussions on a lot of these that end up costing more over time. I try not to think about how much they cost. My accountant thinks about that, and it drives him crazy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because I'm more like, I need this money, and we're going to go spend it, and I'm going to do it.
Yeah, because you see the idea, and then you get revved up.
I have a true, If I
can see it.
Like it's like, If it's in me, it's happening.
Yeah.
And I have to make it happen. And I don't take money from anybody else. I've taken loans to make shit happen, but I don't, like, I have collectors that are like, let me invest in you.
Right.
It freaks me out. I'm like, this is my baby. I don't want other
you
people.
want control.
Yeah, I don't want other people in my pocket.
In a way, I totally understand that too, because you will have complete control. You have complete creative control, selling control, whatever you want to do.
Well, and that's what's been such a blessing for us is I've had such success selling essentially direct to consumers, right?
Which is rare.
Which is very, according to people like yourself, is rare. I had no idea it was rare. I was like, I don't think a gallery is going to represent me. We're too early. I'm going to go figure out how to sell these things so I can keep creating them.
And that's probably true, actually.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And like we have a gallery in Bozeman now that represents us, but it's like, they're great people and awesome, but we have a ton of luck doing it ourselves. And so for me, I've always just been like running forward, figuring it out. And it's been, what I always tell people is like, we're at the point where the snowball is being built on the top of the hill, and it's flirted with falling down the hill a couple of times, and it's flirted with going backwards a couple times, but it's building. And at some point, it'll tip and it'll keep going down the hill. And it's like you said, it may be a decade from now, but what's cool is it's building and it's going, and I can feel that momentum, and it's been a total blast. Like the adventure and the ride has been amazing. But God has been so good. Like I can't believe we're sitting here now and getting to talk about like the fact that I am successful and it is working.
Yeah, and you're getting seen, and people are finding out who you are.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, and so to let people know how big these are, there's 2 sizes, right? And what are the sizes?
So I'm going to try and say it correctly for you. I always say it backwards.
Yeah.
So it's 40 by 65
That's right.
and 50 by 90.
Yes, that's right.
But it's not ever those exact sizes, but those are the rough parameters. And that's including the frame of how big we're going.
That includes the frame?
Yeah.
And the frames are how big?
2.5 inch black frame.
Yeah, so another 5 inches
Yeah.
on the around.
Yeah.
And you just don't, you rarely do smaller images.
We never do. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in the process of building out, and this one I got to be secret about. I'll tell you off camera.
Yeah.
A project that will have small pieces in it.
Yeah.
That will be wildly unique that I've never seen personally.
Yeah.
Because we have such a high demand for them.
I would think, right?
But it'll still be highly limited and
Yeah.
quite honestly, really hard to get them.
Yeah.
But for the people that really, really want them, this will be the way to get it.
Yeah. Because I think that's important because some people just don't have the space, right?
Oh, it's the biggest thing for
Yeah.
us. Like,
and they love the imagery,
yeah.
right?
And that's like, again, part of my naivete is like, I say no a lot to people wanting a custom size or, hey, can I buy this smaller one? For lots of money.
That's good,
And
though.
maybe it's good. I don't know. Sometimes
think
I'm
it is
like,
because
why
you're
did I
taking-
just turn that money
Yeah,
down?
because you want to take creative control.
Yeah. What? And I think
Yeah.
for me,
That's why you're not doing marketing.
yeah. Well, and
That's why you're doing your own thing.
exactly. And for like, we do limited edition nature for a couple reasons. One, I want my kids' kids to be able to say, this piece has value. I think the only way to do that
Right.
with photography is you limit them.
That's right.
Having unlimited series to me has never made sense.
No,
Having a series of 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 just
Right.
dilutes your product, in my opinion.
you're right.
I'm not saying it's wrong.
No, I think that too. For
Okay.
fine art, I do believe that's right.
So, and for me, I've always had this ability to think long term. Like, I think legacy, what do my grandkids get
Yeah.
to see from my art, right?
That's great.
And the other part of that is I want to have a product to where I think scarcity drives demand, demand drives the price. And when I have them limited enough, I can charge enough money for them. I have the ability to say no to the collector if they don't want to pay enough money
Right.
for them, which is wildly powerful. And when they do, it doesn't matter if you're a billionaire or a millionaire or somebody that's like spending all of their money on this. When you're spending, in my opinion, $15,000 to $20,000 or more on something, you put a little bit of thought into it,
Yeah.
which is where I try and come in and feed you the story of why, so that you can appreciate it.
Yes.
But if you're paying $500 for something, it's like, oh, $500 put in my bathroom,
Yeah.
right? For some of these people, it's a lot of money, $500.
Yeah.
But my thought was like, I always want to make sure that however much money you have, it's enough to where you have to
Think
put a
about it.
little bit of thought into it.
Yeah. And it's fine art.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because you are a fine artist and you want to be seen as that.
That's the goal.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of ways you can make a lot of money quickly and not do that.
Amen. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you could probably just do all the videos of what you're doing and be an influencer and do it on.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you probably could.
Probably, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at influencing people.
Yeah, that's going to come though. I think
Maybe.
some of that.
But I want it to come naturally. You know, I don't
Organically,
Want it, yeah,
yeah.
I don't
I
want
get
it to come like, oh, buy these boots because Knox Kronenberg says he likes.
Yeah,
you know.
no, I don't even mean it like that. I
Yeah.
mean it just as more and more people know your work and see your passion and how you make these things as a performance piece.
Right.
That's compelling.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah.
And people will want to watch that and see it, and can drive your everything. quite
I hope so.
frankly.
I mean, the videos are another nightmare. You know what I mean?
I'm
Like,
sure it's a whole different thing,
Yeah.
right?
And I've been very blessed because in my past life, we had that production company. So we did a ton of video and a ton of photos.
Yes.
So I have a plethora of incredible cinematographers to kind of pull on
Yeah,
around the
because
country.
you were working with major companies.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
Yeti. You started working
Yeah,
with Yeti.
so
you're
I was
right.
Yeti's first intern in middle school, putting
Yeah.
together parts to
Right.
helping create content for them, you know, a decade later.
Yeah, and I'm sure that influenced you and how you see the world a bit when you watch it, isn't it?
Totally.
I would think.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have this, it's hilarious. I walk around and I look, because most of my characters are like really hardened men or really hardened women, right?
Yeah.
Like people that when you look at them, you say they've earned
Yeah, they've
whatever
lived.
they've got in their life.
Yeah.
I always tell people it's like, I can play a cowboy on TV, but you look at my hands, I'm not a cowboy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like-
yeah, look at your fingers.
Exactly.
You
Like,
still got them.
well, and I'm not a cowboy and they're not rough and beat to hell.
Yeah.
But I walk around and I'll see people, like some of the characters I've met from my photos, I'll be driving and I'll be like, that's the guy.
Yeah.
And I'll pull over and I'll be like, sir. But I'm looking at this guy in black and white while I'm talking to him. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
I
he's
get it.
got the look. And they like, I get told that I'm insane all the time because they're like,
Artists do this. Do
What
you
are
know
you
that?
talking about?
Artists, I've Thomas Blackshear,
Yeah.
right? World-class artist. He's at this show last night. We're doing
Oh, yeah,
Far
yeah.
West,
I
right?
got to meet him, yeah.
And a guy walked by, and Thomas stopped, looked at him. He goes, "No, I got to talk to that guy."
Yeah.
And he was right. I could see it. I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
Because you're always creating and thinking.
100%.
You know, it's there. So when you're doing that, you're just being an artist.
Well, that's good to
Yeah.
hear that I'm not like solo on that journey.
Nope. It's
Because
artists.
my now wife is definitely in the beginning of our relationship. It's like, why the hell are we doing a U-turn in the middle of traffic so you can go talk to this guy sitting on the bridge?
Yeah, because you see a vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So how many projects you think you have in your head? I know there's probably a zillion, but
Yeah.
you know, some of that noise you have to tamp out, right?
A lot of it is like determining what I want to do at that moment. And the only way I do that is by what gets me the most excited.
Yeah.
I have a million ideas.
Yeah.
Sometimes the idea lasts for a little bit. Sometimes the idea is like burning inside me
Yeah.
and it has to come out.
Yeah.
Those are the ones we create first.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the ones that get priority over everything. Like if I have an idea and I'm like, man, I know this is going to sell, and I know it's going to do really well,
Right.
but it doesn't burn inside me.
Yeah.
Those get pushed down the line. The
Yeah.
ones that are like, we got to do it, I've been thinking. Like,
Yeah.
those come up.
And you do series kind of things too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so I'll explain it to you now because I think this is really important and I don't do a very good job explaining it anywhere else. We have 3 series. The 3 series work together as a metaphor of what I think it means to be a citizen of the world or a human choosing to LIVIN, like truly choosing to live.
Mm-hmm.
The first one's called A Showdown with Time. In order to understand our future and where we're going, we have to learn from the past to make better decisions going forward. The second one's called Echoes of the West. It's all about celebrating authenticity, the fact that we have the totality of human knowledge in our pockets,
Right.
but there's still cowboys that work on horseback every day, and there's still natives that practice all of their religion and belief every day.
Right.
Is beautiful and amazing, and I love it, and I want to create, cherish, and celebrate that. And then that series will go more into like other people living authentically.
Right.
And then the third one's called Symphony of Survival, which is all about harmony, willingness to work together, and like true put bullshit aside, let's have a conversation, right? And then we're launching a 4th one, which will be called Play It As It Lies, which is in life, stuff gets in front of you, you got to swing through. You got to keep moving no matter what, fail forward, keep going, head on a swivel. So like the whole narrative to me is to be a human truly choosing to live or a citizen of the world, you have to learn from your past, make better decisions going forward. You have to be authentic, true to who you are. You have to be willing to work together and put all the BS aside. And then you got to swing through when life proverbially punches you in the face.
And so that last one, give me an example of what that would be.
So it's going to start with golf. We just did a big golf shoot about a month ago. We've released one of the pieces. The narrative is like, we're going to do some crazy stuff that I can't really say on camera. But the narrative is like, when you're playing golf, there's a million metaphors, I think, in golf for the rest of life.
Right.
Patience, making sure you follow
Honor,
through.
honesty.
Exactly.
Again,
Again, respect.
Yeah, respect.
Yeah.
Nature.
100%.
Yeah,
Being
all that.
outside. Like, I think golf is a really boring thing to me.
Yeah.
I can play a couple holes and have a blast, and then I'm like, oh, look at the pond.
Yeah.
Is there fish in there? Or look at the
Yeah.
birds flying over. Like, oh my God, there's a deer, right?
Yeah.
But I respect the fact that golf does a really, really good job getting people outside.
Yeah.
Because I love getting people outside. And the other thing that I think golf does great, yes, capitalism is great. Yes, westward expansion, manifest destiny, and moving the proverbial ball of life forward in giant buildings are great. But I think capturing like the national parks in Roosevelt, what he did with that is like the greatest thing ever. And I think golf courses are kind of somewhere in the middle, to where there's an underlying theme of respect that at least that country is still being used as country.
Right.
And it's not ugly buildings. And so what we did the other day was we took Thomas White Eagle, who's a native chief, on the one side, Jake Fosham, who's a badass Wyoming cowboy, and then a PGA golfer. So the idea is it started with the natives, the land went to the cowboys, and now it's used for the golfers. But there's an underlying theme of respect that they're all using the land for the land and appreciating land.
It's about the land.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which to me,
Yeah.
I love land.
Yeah. And when I play golf with my buddies, and I have just a very small group of guys, and I don't seem to play enough.
Yeah.
But I always say you have to make 3 observations while we're out here.
That's a great narrative.
Yep. So when you're out here, and I'm going to ask you
Oh, cool.
at the end of the round,
Yeah.
you need to make an observation about a plant, an animal, something
Yeah.
that you see that's in nature and it's just not hitting the ball and moving it forward.
Totally.
That you've taken the time. And I try to point out things when I see them so they go, you know, like that was a nurse tree that's dead and now that's why that's there.
Wow.
And they've gotten very good at doing it and paying much more attention
Yeah.
to, you know, and stopping when we see something like, you know, an animal that's interesting or whatever.
Which I think is so important, right? Like,
it's the best part of golf in a way to me.
well, I think that can transcend into every part of your life,
Yeah.
right? Like noticing the little things. For me,
Being in the moment.
yeah, well, I love me some Jesus. And for me, what I always tell people is like, I connect with him outside. My church is outside because if you believe he created all of this, it's the coolest thing how everything is interconnected. So what I
Yeah.
always tell people is like, start really micro and then grow to macro. So like take a leaf, look at all the veins in the leaf,
Yeah.
look how it's connected to the tree, and then slowly expand outward how the roots go in the water and the water
It's all
and then the sky.
fractal.
And it's all connected.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy
Which is
moly.
what you're doing with your photos. You're trying to connect everything.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
And it makes me really happy that you see it because
Yeah.
it's very much the goal.
Yes. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, I can see the whole land, the people, technology to some extent,
Totally.
you know,
Yeah.
different types of technology, whether it's a
100%.
horse or a plane or whatever it might be.
100%.
Right. It's that vision. Yeah. Yeah. So you're young enough, you can really document these things too in different ways. You should be thinking of that. Not just film wise, but writing, and
Yep.
book wise, and all that stuff.
Everything has a writing component to it. And I'm not the best writer, but I have a team that helps me with writing. So I get
Yeah.
my ideas together and they help make it.
Yeah.
And I want to tell these stories forever because I think that, like you said, not everybody can digest the art. Not everybody can own the art.
Yeah.
That's why there's a video. But not everybody can watch the video, and that's why there's writing. So I want
Yeah.
to have these layers
Yeah,
to
that's
try
right.
and connect with
You're a
the story.
storyteller.
Yeah,
That is what you do.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and your media is photography.
Exactly.
You know, some people it's, you know, film and a movie, some it's drawing, some it's sculpture, whatever.
Right.
But that's what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a storyteller. You could say when people ask you what's your profession, you could literally say I'm a storyteller.
I'm actually going to steal that because I hate saying I'm a photographer because most people are like, oh, can you shoot my wedding?
Yeah.
I'm like,
No.
that's not what we do.
No, you're a storyteller.
Yeah. I'm going to totally steal that. That's
Yeah,
great.
that's not a steal. You have it. That's what you are. I mean, I know that's what you are because.
But that's a great way to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is literally.
I'm a storyteller. I love that.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
will. You're going to see me in like another 2 years and somebody's going to be in the room and be like, oh, Knox, what do you do? You're going to hear me be like, I'm a storyteller. And I'll like tip my hat to you.
That's
and be like,
right.
Yeah, thank you.
It's completely and utterly is, you know. So we've kind of covered your life and what
Yeah.
you're doing. First of all, tell people how they can find your work if they're interested in seeing your
Yeah,
work. How do
the
they do it?
easiest way to find it is social media. Is just at Knox Kronenberg with a K, and then my website's knoxkronenberg.com. The one thing I will say is, when I say my passion in life is to inspire passion in others, like if you have questions, reach out to me. It may
Yeah.
not be instant that I get back to you, but I will do my darndest to get
Yes.
back to you. If you're a young guy trying to be a photographer,
Nice.
if you're trying to figure this out, I'm not a taker. I want to share what I've learned.
Nice.
I've learned a little bit. We've got a lot to learn, but I'm happy to tell you anything you need to know or tell you any of the lessons that I've learned because I don't want to, like if I hold this all in, it's just me doing y'all a disservice. So
Yeah, that's true.
I want to be able to share. Please
Yeah, and
reach
you're
out.
you're not afraid because you know your vision.
Well, I'm not afraid. And at the same time, like the beautiful thing is like America is built on the fact that if somebody's better than you, you just got to work harder.
Yeah.
Competition's an
Yeah.
amazing thing. Like if
Yeah.
a young guy comes up and takes a collector of mine because he created a better work, it's like, damn, okay,
Good for you.
yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
Now I got to go create something better.
Yeah.
You know?
And again, I think it is because you have original voice and you see these in your head, so you're going to do it. No one can steal that.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it's you, right?
Well, there's just so many ideas. I'm like,
yeah.
take one, take two, take three. There's a bunch more that
It's
are coming.
Knox world.
Yeah,
Is what it is.
we're trying. Yeah.
And can they buy on your website?
You can't. You can inquire through the website, but you can't like buy one online
Right.
per se.
But that's how they do it.
Yeah, if you inquire through the website, you'll get connected with somebody on my team who will help answer all
Yeah.
the questions.
Yeah. Very
Kind of
good.
fill you in on the story of what it is.
And then how many photographs, different stories, do you think you can do in a year? Do you
We're
know?
trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
Again, if I had $1 billion, I'd do one a week. Financially, we'd probably do 4 to 6 shoots a year. 6 would be a
Yeah.
lot.
I would think.
Yeah.
These are big.
Yeah, some of them are
deals.
bigger than others, right? Like
Yeah.
the one yesterday it's not cheap, but it wasn't that difficult.
Yeah.
And what's cool is I have the best people in the world helping me.
Yeah.
Like my main producer, her name's Gracie. She's a double widow, worked for everything in her life. The most badass woman you've ever met.
Right.
Like, hey, Gracie, I need a longhorn that can walk into a bar. Hey, Gracie, I need a
she
grizzly
can make
bear.
it happen.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Another guy, Jason, who helps do everything for Taylor Sheridan. Jason, I need a grizzly bear in Montana. Okay, give me 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I need it to be trained, and it needs to stand 5 feet away from the person. He's like, okay, awesome. And then it's like, okay, Sierra and Heather Reams in Fort Worth are like the greatest ladies in the world. The mom, Heather, essentially her husband left her, handed her a longhorn. She raised 2 kids figuring it out with a longhorn.
Wow.
Turned it into a business. They do movies, they do weddings, they do
Wow.
TV shows, they do production sets with me. Like, they have the most gentle, awesome longhorns. Like, the longhorn sat at a bar for 45 minutes while everybody played poker around it.
I saw that photograph. That was a very cool photograph.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And like, for me, what I think is so cool is getting to meet these people that are choosing to live life differently.
Yeah.
And then getting to support their dreams, right?
Yeah, because that's the thing. These are real human beings.
These are
right?
real
These
humans.
aren't like
Yeah.
actors and things,
Totally.
right? Yeah, these are
and
real
this
people.
is their dream.
Yeah.
And because I had a dream, and because it's going so well, I have the money to get to support theirs
Yeah.
and bring them into my vision.
Right.
And it's this beautiful, harmonious relationship
Uh-huh.
that is the coolest thing ever for
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's amazing.
Yeah, you're going to succeed.
I hope
think,
so.
Exceptionally well.
Well, we're doing great so far. It's amazing. Yeah.
Well, you're an artist and you're a storyteller,
Yeah.
and so I see the Knox vision.
Well,
So-
I appreciate it. I sure do. I really do. And
Yeah.
I'm
Hard
so
to believe you're only 27.
well, I'm glad to talk to you guys. I always tell people, it's like, give me another 20 years. I don't know what we're going to be creating, but
Yeah.
it's going to be cool.
No, you will be.
Yeah.
It's what it takes. It takes a lot of time.
Well,
know.
and the cool thing is, I spend every dollar I make.
Right
Right
back
back
in. Yeah, I bet.
I'm not like, oh, I'm driving a nice car. Look at this
Yeah.
sports car I bought. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, the thing
No.
I give a shit about is my wife has got what she needs, and she's fulfilled, and then every other dollar goes right back into our business.
Yeah,
And make
that's
sure
right.
that we can keep pushing this vision
That's
alive.
how you get critical mass.
Yeah. It's the funnest thing ever.
what
I'm
I
like,
did.
I don't know what else I'd spend my money
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I could buy dumb things that are short-term value, but this is
My
long-term
truck's a
addicting.
2017 truck,
Yeah.
and part of the fender's off, and I haven't fixed it yet.
Oh, I love it.
Because I've been too busy.
Yeah.
And I don't care.
Don't care, right? It's
Right,
like, it's a
right.
tool. A truck is a tool.
Yeah, no, I just
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah, it's not a part of our character. That's just a
No.
tool to get me from
Yeah.
A to Z.
Yeah.
That's it.
All
Yeah.
right, Knox, man.
Hey,
That was great.
pleasure.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so
We'll
much.
definitely keep in touch. You were great. Hardest part was wanting to.
Pet him.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.